Well, Mendicacious C, or whatever the fuck your name is. You need a timeout, don't you? Yes, you do. You need a timeout, dude. And I'm more than happy to provide that timeout for you. I am more than happy to provide that timeout for you. Oh, yes, I am. Oh, yes, I am. Goodbye. Have a nice life. And there we go. One message was deleted by a moderator. Bye. Yes, indeedy. I'm just full of surprises this morning, boys and girls. Russians aren't seizing your bank account. They aren't censoring the news or forcing you to take questionable, getting you fired, attacking you in the street, replacing you with foreigners, and making you second-class citizens. The people who want war with Russia are doing all that. So there's your fresh dose of reality this morning, which I'm sure some of you require. Anyway, but yeah, I gotta get this up here. Good old Sebastian Gorka, a supposed conservative that bans conservatives that don't agree with him off of his service. That right, Sebastian? Yeah, I know, because I was one of them. Anyway, here's old Sebastian Gorka claiming that the president of the Ukraine is a true president when we know that the Ukraine has been funneling New World Order money back and forth for years, maybe even centuries, but definitely for years. Hunter Biden in particular, Hillary Clinton, Nancy Pelosi, all getting money out of the Ukraine. But here's good old Sebastian Gorka defending this man, saying he's a true president because he's out on the front lines. Well, you know, if you were getting billions of dollars from the United States, you'd probably be out on the front lines too, right? This is not going to age well for you, Sebastian Gorka. But then, good old Dinesh D'Souza does the same damn thing. Now, here's a guy who doesn't call lid. Oh, my God. Okay. Y'all really need to research this guy before you defend him. Just saying. I'm just throwing that shit out there, right? My. Dinesh D'Souza and Sebastian Gorka defending this man. This man who funneled New World Order money and got millions of people killed. Numerous bioweapons labs funded by the United States for the purpose of, which, by the way, the Russians have destroyed. I have on good authority. Yeah. So yeah, that's not going to age well for you, Mr. Gorka. No, it is not. But then we have this little tidbit, which is very interesting. So let's bring that up on the screen. And boom. Don't forget, CrowdStrike's servers are in the Ukraine. Those servers would house election interference evidence in the 2020 presidential election if Trump is correct, which he always is. Election interference by a foreign agent recovered by Russia, used to prove their innocence in the same breath, shows absolute proof of rigging. Holy shit, this is huge. And it is. Are you listening, President Putin? Don't leave the Ukraine without them servers. If you haven't already acquired them, don't leave the Ukraine without them servers. They will clear your name. They will clear Russia's name. Do not leave the Ukraine without those servers. Now you say, well, Vaughn, didn't we see a video where the Ukrainians were burning a whole shitload of paper back behind a building? Yes, there's a video out there about that. But as long as we get the servers, we're good. Because the servers are connected to the cloud, and then the cloud will tell us exactly who did what, when, where, and why. So don't leave the Ukraine without those servers, President Putin, because they'll clear your name and they'll clear Trump's name at the same time. Isn't that awesome? That's some awesome shit. So we got all kinds of shit going on in the Ukraine, right? Laundering money, creating bioweapons, and fucking with the 2020 election. So the Ukraine seems to have been a centralized hub for the New World Order, at least on a temporary basis, huh? Yes. Yes, it is. Ain't that something? Isn't that amazing, people? That's amazing, isn't it? Isn't that something? I thought so. I thought that was real amazing. Enough to tell you about it. Yeah. Marjorie or Tulsi Gabbard weighed in on this shit. So let's hear what she has to say.
Now, here's something you are not going to hear on the mainstream media. What you do hear is warmongers arguing that we must protect Ukraine because it is a quote-unquote democracy. But they're lying. Ukraine isn't actually a democracy. For example, to hold on to power, Ukraine's president shut down the 3 TV stations that were openly criticizing him and his policies, imprisoned the head of the opposition political party that had come in second place in their elections, and went and arrested and jailed that party's leaders. This is exactly what Putin has been accused of doing. But Ukraine did this all with the support of the United States.
All right. So, like I said, Sebastian Gorka, you might have done a little bit of research on this motherfucker before getting behind his happy ass. The president, so-called, of the Ukraine doing exactly what President Putin has been accused of doing. The very thing. And with the support of the United States, by God. Yes, indeedy. What about that shit, boys and girls? Ain't that something? Ain't that something? I'd like to thank Vladimir Putin for ending the pandemic. Oh, shit. Which he basically, I mean, he bombed all their biolabs. So, yeah. Putin just bombed all their biolabs over in the Ukraine, where they were making all their little concoctions to kill us all with. I think the latest thing up on the docket was some sort of HIV, a reemergence of HIV or some shit that they were going to hit us with. Oh yeah, and then there's this. Then there's this stuff happening. I don't know if y'all heard about this shit. So let's get that up on the screen. Adam Schiff out of nowhere coming out talking about the Ukraine. Marina Abramovich out of nowhere coming out talking about the Ukraine. Hillary Clinton out of nowhere coming out talking about Ukraine. I gave you 3 guesses as to what these 3 have in common, and the first 2 don't count. Still think Putin is the bad guy. No, Putin is not the bad guy, is he? Told you. See that? Look at all the documents they're burning. Gee, I wonder why. Could those be the 2020 documents that prove that Trump was correct and that the election was stolen? Anyway, there we go. I think we get the gist of it. Yeah, the Russians are not attacking the Ukrainian military. They are not attacking the Ukrainian civilians. They are attacking UN and United States funded bioweapons in the Ukraine. They're blowing the shit out of them. And that's why that lady said, posted, I want to thank President Putin for ending the pandemic, because he pretty much has. Without those bioweapon labs, it's going to be difficult to mass produce the pathogens on a large scale. It just is. Okay, so Russia technically has ended the pandemic by force. And that's a good thing. That's a very good thing, because these bioweapon labs being knocked out pretty much ensures that the New World Order has been set back a great deal. Can you imagine if these bioweapons have been able to release a virulent strain of HIV that slaughtered millions of innocent people all across the world?